A couple housekeeping items I'd like to cover before we get started with the webinar. All of our webinars are recorded. We will post this on our YouTube channel as well as our website and send you an email with a link to the slide deck and the recording within 24 hours following this presentation. So should have it no later than the end of the week. We also do encourage you to engage and participate as much or as frequently as you like. I'll be moderating and speaking today. Two ways that you can engage with me throughout today's session. First one is through the actual chat feature. That's open for everybody to see the feedback. So show me some love, ask some questions, maybe disagree with something that I have to say. You know, it's all fair game, just engage as much as you want. And then there's also a Q&A feature directly built within this tool here, which kind of allows me to have a little bit more control over questions that are going to be kind of coming up. I will do my best to answer any questions along the way. At the same time, I'll try and carve out some time at the end in the event any other questions were to come up. Before I get started here, just want to turn the camera on, introduce myself here. My name is Lyles Armour, Marketing Director here at rezStream. Been with the company going on 11 years now, 12 years. Started as a little baby and, you know, here presenting with you all different opportunities to kind of look at your business through the component and aspect of Google Analytics. While I don't walk on the beach often and jump off rooftops, more swim in tunnels, I do like ice cream. I eat plain potato chips, and my kids are my joy, as you can see. So pictures are a wife, 2 kids, and me. You can easily see the ladies here know how to take pictures. Nice backdrop. Us fellows are in the hallway of what looks like bathroom here. Out of the joy that I have for sports, I'm going to put on my basketball hat here. Denver Nuggets, we're in the playoffs if you didn't know. Phoenix Suns 2-0 lead. Really excited about that. See if we can make it to the championship game. As it pertains to the real reason you're here, not me, what's on tap for today. So Google Analytics is the topic. We're talking about reports, talking about data. Yay, it's a lot of fun. I get it. I will do my best to try not to have this be a dry topic. I've got some things sprinkled in that'll hopefully put some smiles on some faces, maybe a chuckle or a laugh here or there. As it pertains to the agenda, quick, overview of rezStream, who we are, what we do. We'll then get right into the topic, talking about the Analytics 4 here, why it was created, some of the differences, reports you guys can use out of the box, some different custom reports that they provide as well, and then what to do before the deadline. And then we do have an offer that will close for anyone new looking to join on with rezStream here. So a little bit about rezStream, been around since 2005, focused solely independent lodging within the US market here. And we are focused on leveling the playing field. So we want to work with our customers to really improve how they manage their business and increase their revenue. Like a lot of the clients that we work with, small teams. So we understand the small staff, how important it is to have the right people and buy into everything that you're doing at the property. We kind of do that same thing here. All passionate about what we do individually in our roles as much as we are in helping our hoteliers really perform at a high level. We do view ourselves as an extension of your team. So while staff shortages and things like that are a challenge and a pain point, while we're not on site, we like to continue to view ourselves as a part of that staff, helping you drive more business, giving you tools to really manage things more effectively. A lot of experience here between the 24, 25 of us. That 100 years is probably inaccurate, close to 150, 200. And everything that we do is really kind of company behind our products and offering that we have. We call it our suite of lodging solutions. So website, marketing, online booking engine, reservation software. We're there through the entire guest journey and really want to help you through that. Specifically for the topic today, that really kind of falls in the house of marketing. So our marketing team has been on top of this for our clients and really moving the needle forward, getting people updated with Google Analytics 4, getting reports in place, making sure data's in store. You're here hopefully to learn about analytics and see where you are at and where things are trending. First thing that we will talk about is why it was created. So I have a little story, little history of Google Analytics that we'll go through. We'll see the little baby grow up into a mature GA4 analytics tracking platform. But before I jump into that, I have a poll question I want to put out here. So the first question here, I'm going to launch this. You guys should see this on your screen now. Who's responsible for keeping your Google Analytics account up to date? Who monitors it? Who goes in there and makes sure you're tracking and everything's in place, running reports and giving feedback to your marketing team? Who's analyzing the booking engine performance? Who makes sure you go from the baby version of analytics all the way to where we are today? I'll leave this poll open for another, call it 10-15 seconds, and let the feedback come in here. I'll share it with you all, and we'll just kind of touch base and see where we all stand. And I'll shut this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Share the results. Okay, so hopefully you see these on your screen. I'm not able to see exactly what your screen, so please tell me if you can or cannot. But the feedback that I'm seeing on my end, 50% of you say me. That's why I'm here. I'm responsible for it. So thank you for coming. Hopefully you learned something, either confirming what you're doing to be correct or on par, or identifying new things just to kind of be prepared for moving forward. Those of you who use our marketing services, thank you so much for joining. Typically Liz would kind of present this topic, but you guys might know she just had baby number 2, so kudos to her. She's tackling bigger things in analytics reporting. Trust me, she'll be back and get dirty with you guys and continue to grow this with her team. You hired an agency not named rezStream. No offense, no harm, no foul. I get it, but you're here with us today, so hopefully rezStream can share something new, and you can take it back to your team there. And then the last one, wait, someone's supposed to keep it updated. I appreciate your honesty there. Yes, have somebody do it one way or the other, whether it's you, hopefully it's rezStream, or someone who's experienced enough to kind of keep tabs and follow things along. So thank you for the feedback there. Again, jumping back to the presentation, hopefully you can see the screen again. First generation Google Analytics telling the story. This is kind of really where it all started. It started with a company known as Quantified Systems back in 1995, all about kind of tracking, making those different things from a back-end standpoint. In 2005, 10 years later, they were rebranded as Urgent from Google. And for many of you, you probably have seen those funny looking parameters or question marks at the end of a URL, UTM, source, equals, so on and so forth. This particular model is where that all started. It is still in place and used all the way through GA4. Foundation of it started here. Little baby boys growing up, as you can see here, a little toddler and a little kid. I'm in the toddler age with my children right now, so this is really as far as my life experience takes me. But from an analytics standpoint here, you can again see the growth. The changes here from the initial classic version, or excuse me, urgent version going to the classic version was really about 2 things. The ability to track e-commerce, which for us, that means reservations online, bookings coming through your website and your booking engine. And then once that was in place, it was all about making sure that these new scripts aren't impacting site speed and performance. I'm sure you guys have all heard Google Speed, Page Insights, and a big push there, big narrative. Google had to play their part, and a part of that was optimizing their scripts to make sure it's not negatively impacting the things that they're, giving you credit for if you're able to achieve a faster performing website. Obviously, it continues to mature, and this is the universal analytics that most of us are either still on or getting off of to get into GA4. Biggest thing here as far as the change and what they were looking for is everybody's becoming more obsessed with data. We're reporting on it. We want to really understand where people are coming and going. So initially, it was really about cross-device tracking. Knowing somebody went on the desktop and then they went onto their mobile device, and being able to understand that those are the same people, are to mirror their actions together as far as one user. So that was really the ultimate goal there. And then from there, just kind of simplifying how you use the code. This is more for the techie people, how they implement it, how they can simplify their usage of the code. Rather than having 3 or 4 different scripts, you can have one site tag that kind of holds everything and makes it easier for you to manage down the road. Funny enough, what they do at Google is change it, right? So that script you have is now a different script here, and this is GA4. This is where we sit now. Just for the sake of the graphic, this is a mature individual. Hopefully has learned a lot from the early days as a baby, growing into e-commerce tracking, multiple device tracking, and then really trying to simplify things to where we are today now. So why was it created? The bigger component was really for businesses that have an app as well as a website. Think of Nike. You go on their website, you do some shopping, and then maybe you also have the Nike app on your phone. That's me, and you're doing some shopping there as well. The ability for them to now report the website engagement for that user, as well as within the application as one person, one entity, was a big driver here. Another one of those would have been just the cookieless world, and really being prepared for not being able to always have as much information and insight on users, and just kind of being prepared for that. And then, as you'll see as we dive a little bit further forward here, some of the predictive things that they offer in their reporting, just how you can layer things and what you can look at, and hopefully try and lean into some assumptions. So that's kind of a little short journey, a history of where we are. Just to break the ice here, I have another quick question, another poll I want to throw up. I want to see how many people have made that switch. So let me go ahead and launch this poll question. Please go ahead and have at it. And by making that switch, I mean, now that you are using Google Analytics for tracking on your website. You should, in most cases, be right now listing both scripts or having both tracking mechanisms in place, universal analytics alongside GA4. So both of those should be happening. But again, just want to get some feedback on, have you made that switch? Where are you at? Maybe put some urgency and strike some fear in you to get you moving a little bit faster. And I'll close this out here in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. In the poll, share the results with you folks here. Yes, just want to make sure you haven't missed anything. That's a third of you, so appreciate that. If you've made the move, you haven't missed anything. Now you're just learning. That's the most important thing, is to get that move, get switched over, get scripts in place. Nope, hope it isn't too late. It is not too late to make the move. However, you're only going to be getting data in the new Google Analytics platform from the day you make the move moving forward. So the sooner you do it, the better. Otherwise, you're going to lose the ability for comparable data from the previous year, or having time to make any adjustments based off of what you're seeing when it's tracking through GA4 as it would be currently. Not sure, how do you find out? There's some tools that you can use directly within your Google Analytics platform. Log into the account. It will prompt you. It will tell you, hey, out of date, make these changes. Also, there's a way in which you can look at the code. Sorry for blanked out there. The universal code was a UA-number. The GA4 is G-number, typically a solid number. So a little variation there. And then for those of you who believe Russian took care of that for you, yes. If you are a marketing client, we have taken care of that for you. If you are using our reservation software online booking engine, we can help you from the standpoint of what we do on the booking engine side, making sure tracking is in place on the booking engine, However, your booking engine, or excuse me, your website provider would have to make sure it's updated there. And we'll maybe touch on that a little bit further as we go. Again, thank you for sharing. Good to just kind of see where we're all at. And, you know, didn't get to let this go here, but making the switch isn't as scary as it may appear. Hopefully you're working with someone who knows how to do that or who can oversee it for you. That way it's a little bit less pressure. Ultimately, it's putting some code on the website, and from there you're tracking. Okay, number 2 item here we wanted to look at were the differences between the two. So bear with me here. I've got a lot of different screenshots I want to share. I debated on whether or not I wanted to pull up analytics, but knowing me and how much I talk, I lose time in just one screen. So PowerPoints keep me going. First and foremost, navigation simpler, universal. And this is just one screenshot. You click in one of those different areas to drill down, and you've got another 4, 5, 6 different variation sections that you can go to. So they tried to simplify it just as far as the overall fill. When you land on a lot of these pages, it's an initial kind of dashboard, high-level view of what's going on, and then it allows you to click into more specific details. To get into the nitty-gritty of what's changed and things that really are going to impact you, first one would be sessions. So sessions are, you know, interactions made on the website that take place within a given time. On the previous version, Universal Analytics, there's multiple page views, events, and interactions. All of those can be counted as a transaction, and they all happen within that 30-minute period. Biggest difference here is with GA4. It's essentially counting all of those things as one session, one user engaging over a period of time. So I have a little equation at the bottom, and my neighbor across the street, he's a teacher, and I'm, you know, have kids here, and I'm struggling because math is different now. You learn with sticks and dots and whatnot. So this is the rare occasion where, you know, 3 equals 1. In Universal Analytics, you might have seen 3 different sessions for the same user over a period of time. In GA4, that same interaction is now 1 session. So 3 equals 1. It does math. Page views, page screens. This is really for apps, so not too much to share here, but they're one of the same. So from those people who had, you know, multiple type of devices as it pertains to how their users engage. Again, thinking about Nike, they have a website and an app. They simplified it so everything's uniform, everything is consistent with each other. The next item here is events. In Universal Analytics, they had a kind of separate mechanism to track an event. They captured a category, an action, and a label, and that was known as a hit type. With Google Analytics 4, everything is essentially just considered an event. Clicking on a page, interacting on social, clicking a button, viewing another page, those are just variations of an event, and they just kind of simplified it. So again, rather than having to go into Universal, look at page views and then say, oh, well, let me see how many events took place on this page view, it is essentially an event. Everything comes through as an event. That is how things are registered. Now, while they aren't capturing, you know, the category, the label, and the action type, when you do create an event, you can pass additional what they call parameters. So these parameters are essentially sending over more information about what that particular event was. You can see an example here. This particular event is, hey, we want to do a screen view whenever they're on the accommodation or room section, specifically viewing or clicking on this Rustic King suite. So that's an example of a parameter. More details that you may want to share on a given event that may take place on your website. Outside of that, obviously, there's some basic things that are always sent over. So the location of the page, the referrer, where they came from, the specific title of the page, resolution, For you or your marketing team, you may want to get a little bit more granular, and that's where those parameters can come into play. So work with your marketing team. They'll kind of know the best way to kind of implement those. And then from there, it's inside of GA4 reports, and you can track and report on them. So this is a funny graphic. And when I was putting this together, I thought it was the same because it's the same, but it's different, but it's the same, right? So everything's an event. They don't capture categories and labels, but they do capture parameters. Categories and labels do the same thing parameters do. Pass over more information, more details about something. So hopefully you're laughing over there. If not, I missed that one. I'll try again with this one here. So for anybody who may have looked into their analytics reports, or maybe you're working with your agency and they're not reporting on bounce rates anymore, first and foremost, tell your housekeepers they're not going to find them under the sheets. Bounce rates are now known as engagement rate. It's basically the reverse. I think this was their way of maybe putting a positive spin on things. So, in the green text, you can see the example here is if your bounce rate was 75, meaning 75% of people landed on a page and left, that means your engagement rate is 25%. I mean, 25% stayed, they were engaged. So again, I just think they did a little bit different of a spin. Different things that you can do with the engagement rate as far as what it tells you. It could just let you know what's leading to higher conversion rates. So whatever pages may have a higher engagement rate, may also have a higher conversion rate. So think about how you can replicate that. Maybe one room page has a virtual tour, an extensive description, and a lot of reviews from guests. Another page doesn't. Again, engagement's higher, they're on there longer, they're engaging more, conversion's higher. So something that you can think about. What is an engagement? 10 seconds or longer. They have to either have an event convert or 2-page views. Something else that's different here, I wouldn't say different, but slightly different, is conversion tracking. In GA4, a conversion is any interaction or occurrence that is valuable to your property. So underline any interaction or occurrence because that is the case. It's extremely important for you to know what your agency is doing to track conversions, what's included as a conversion. That way you're getting a real understanding of what those numbers look like and how you're being reported on it. A conversion can be anything: booking a room, submitting a form, subscribing to a newsletter, purchasing a gift certificate, downloading an itinerary guide, submitting a wedding RFP. The list goes on and on. In addition to that, those UTM parameters, again, that I talked about earlier, the early days of Google, those still very much work. So continue to use those, continue to make sure they have the right structure in place so your marketing team or you can easily report, build custom reports off of those, and truly know how effective specific campaigns that your marketing efforts are driving are for you. Quick warning before I move forward. The reports that I'm going to show you in some of the screenshots, a lot of them have revenue numbers in there. The revenue part of the game is twofold. You have to have a booking engine provider that supports GA4. Just like your website has the scripts on there to track the sessions, when people go from your website to the booking engine, you also need to have updated GA4 tracking scripts on the booking engine to capture that reservation and be able to know exactly where people came from. Was it Google search? Was it a social media ad? Was it an email campaign that you drove? So full disclaimer, if you're looking at your reports and you do not see revenue figures, and that means your booking engine is lacking a component or your booking engine scripts aren't firing. So get a hold of the appropriate team members and make sure that is in place. Reports, fun stuff. Okay, out of the box reports. Before we jump in, a couple things that you can do with these reports, and you already hopefully know. Monitor traffic, get a sense of where things are coming from, investigate data, dig a little bit deeper. Okay, traffic's coming from referral. What specific sites are driving those referrals? Maybe you allocate more money into those different buckets. And then, just know that once you put these scripts on the websites, data pretty much starts immediately. There's actually the ability to have a real-time view of people engaging on your website. First report I'm going to share here is the acquisition overview report. Basically looking at Google ad campaign performance, how effective is it in driving conversion? So you can see it's breaking it down by different ad groups that you may have running, branded terms specifically for your property. Maybe there's some dynamic ads that you're creating where you're letting Google and AI and the algorithms and the bots really kind of, based off of the user, dictate what's more meaningful and valuable for them based off of other actions that they have taken. And then you can see here, this is a specific wedding campaign, right? We're driving wedding business for this property. We have an ad group, and your ability just to see high level, how is it performing? What sessions is it driving? How are people engaging? What's the conversion rate? So on and so forth. Next report, the user report. This is really to help you know how new users are finding your website for the first time. So really good for you to kind of get a sense of what's that first engagement look like? How do you maybe position your website to really tailor to those people? For whatever's sake here, these people first time visits are coming in direct. So they either know the brand, they've been there over a period of time, maybe they're coming back a year later to rebook. So again, they're just going directly to it. Your messaging could apply to those people. Maybe you have a pop-up that shows up for first-time people. Maybe you have something different for people that come from the paid channel versus a specific referral channel. So again, this is for those data folks who really just want to know where it's coming from, give your marketing team better opportunities to position your content or navigate travelers to where you want them to go through that buying journey. The traffic report is essentially the same thing, only we're looking at the traffic and where they're coming from via the channels here. So I think the biggest thing that I highlight here is you can see if you're using Google free booking links, those particular meta search engines, you'll see they're showing up in the organic shopping bucket. So some of the things that you'll see here is the organic search versus organic shopping. Organic shopping is really that meta search, engines that there are. You have those with Google, and then there's a different version depending on what you use TripAdvisor for, where you can see there's TripAdvisor showing up in the paid channel here. There's free versions, or should I call it, direct booking mechanisms built into TripAdvisor, where those would show up under your meta column. So again, just so you understand and kind of know where to go, what reports to look at, where certain things may fall, that's what is here for you. For those of you folks that do this yourself, as you probably know, a lot of it is you just got to stay up late one night and get in the data, look around, and go through it. From there, you either know what you're doing or you don't, and that's where rezStream comes in to really help you assess what do you do when data is trending one way or the other. Another report here is the engagement for events. So again, everything is tracked as an event. As you can see, some of these events are out of the box page views, session starts. Some of those are just native out of the box. It comes with Google default, right? And then there are some other custom events that your marketing team or our marketing team is creating to make sure that we have full visibility in what's going on. Those would be the purchase event, the add to cart event, the begin checkout, right? We want to measure how many people are clicking on these or engaging in these particular areas so we can layer content there or understand how to better optimize or suggest feedback to you. Hey, maybe your rates are a little bit too high. People are jumping out pretty crazy right away, or vice versa. So case here is, just understanding at a high level view which events are driving engagement. And then from there, it's the layer of detail to know how to use those to make some impactful decisions. Landing pages, this is again looking at the engagement specifically as it pertains to pages on your website. So again, which pages are people hitting, which pages are converting, which ones are driving dollars to your business. Obviously, you can see here a lot of those ones towards the top are booking engine pages. So it makes sense that those have a lot of revenue numbers kind of tied to them. Also, to be clear here, it shows you the first page that they landed on. So depending on how your booking engine is set up and how you allow people to get into your booking engine with individual unit calendars, different search widget features, you can really springboard people into closing that deal or closing that reservation sooner than later. I just want to take a moment. I had a chat pop up here. Are Expedia, Travelocity, etc., all working with GA4? I sure hope so. Within their platform, they should have those things tracking. If not, then shame on them. They're the big boys, right? Now, from your standpoint, as it pertains to what you see in analytics, yes, you should be seeing either a referral coming from Expedia. You should be seeing something that will come back in here as it came from the Meta shopping bucket from Expedia. It came from the paid channel of Expedia or Travelocity. So absolutely, those should be reported in there for you. How is the landing page different from the first click? This is just that particular report that is showing you those people who engage from it for the first click. I can't say that it's necessarily different. This is kind of what it's showing. So based off of their first engagement, this is that landing page. What you don't see here is the other journey, right? What other pages did they click on? How many interactions did it take to close? I'll show you what those look like in some fancy reports down the line here. I don't think that answered your question the best, but I don't think there's a big difference from what we're seeing here. Another report here is the conversions report. So again, this is really what it's all about. Hopefully you're keeping an eye on what your conversion rates are. You're being mindful of what it was the previous year, the previous quarter. And then you have your team really, driving home to either improve those rates or just be mindful that if this is the conversion rate, then we need to add more volume. We've got to get more travelers. We've got to get more eyes on us. What I also want to remind you here is, again, make sure you know what is being tracked as a conversion. It can go a long way in skewing your conversion rate. If you track clicking on the specials page as a conversion event, then now every time somebody clicks on it, it looks like they're converting. So what you really want to be thinking about are what are those things that are driving revenue for you? Those are typically the conversions that you really want to care about, or forms that lead to those conversions. A newsletter sign up, maybe a contact form, a RFP for a wedding or an event. Those are the different type of conversion events that would be worth you tracking. Either way, whether you want to track everything as a conversion or one thing, just know what it is. Be aware of what your marketing agency and team is including as a conversion. So that way you know where you're getting yourselves into. Really easy with GA4 for people to, work with a new agency and they turn everything into a conversion, and now they're saying, hey, look, we blew your conversion rate up. So again, ask them what's included in that conversion rate and make sure you agree with it. This is that same kind of conversion path or report. The difference here is being able to look into the specific room data points, right? Which rooms are performing, which rooms are going through the organic route, right? People are finding this room online, they're getting to our website, they're booking organically. This particular room, for whatever reasons, is only performing paid. Maybe there's a reason, maybe you had a paid program behind it, maybe you pushed an offer selling that particular unit, or maybe when you pushed an ad, you had that particular image for that unit on the ad and people were liking to that. So they went and sought for that particular room. Either way, again, it's all about data, all about you being able to understand what's performing and why. And then again, being able to drill down into some more specifics. Want to take a break? I got another poll question. I'm hoping you're smiling right now, but is anybody else feeling like this? You're really just going to keep on going through and sharing screenshots and reports. How many more screenshots and reports do you have? Can you get to something more exciting? please let me have it. Again, reports analytics isn't the most exciting topic, so hopefully, if nothing else, this graphic put a little smile on your face. I'll leave this open for a little bit longer. I'm seeing less engagement on this poll, so I think some of you really want to answer the first one, but don't really want to put themselves out there. So I get it, I understand. That being said, I'll just close the poll out here. Not a lot of value for it, but I'll share it with you all. 30% of you are like, yeah, hey, glad somebody said it. Can this guy hurry up and shut up? Some of you didn't want to answer. Others thought it was great, so thank you. Stay on for the hour afterwards where I go into further detail. I'm joking. And then have you ever thought about doing stand-up every single night? I tell my wife that she would disagree. That's a separate webinar and a separate time. Okay, a couple more reports and then we're going to get to some hopefully a little bit more exciting things. These ones are really quick. Just want to share with you demographic reports. Depending on how much you care about this stuff, again, just good to have it. What are the age range? What's the demographics? Who's searching for you? Where are they finding you? In this particular example, a lot of search from Paris. Maybe this property needs to think about working locally with a travel agency or a network in Paris, right? People are looking, they're finding interest, they're finding our property. How do we create some relationship to drive a true and a faster relationship and conversion for those interested parties? The other report here is the tech report. Unless you're a techie, you really don't care. If you're a marketer, you'll love it because you like to be able to, yeah, 90% of people are on Apple, right? Who cares, right? We just want reservations. Needless to say, all of that does matter. Knowing more people are on mobile might force you to have mobile pop-ups more than you have on desktop. Even the psychology, right? An Android user, a little bit different than an iOS user. Maybe something you can do with content dynamically to engage with those people. Maybe there's different ways you retarget them based off of devices. There's a whole bunch of different things that if you have time where this data means something for you, also might just reconfirm things that you know, hey, these people are from these areas and use these different type of devices. Jumping a little bit further, talking about custom reports, being able to go a whole lot further. I've been really enjoying what I've been able to do with the custom reports within Google. Out of the gate, and you'll see in this animated clip here, you can turn any report into a variation of a custom report. So go to your user acquisition section, click on the library tab, and then now go with select from reports. These reports are kind of, pre-canned as far as what Google's allowing you to work from. And then and then after you, select which, custom detailed report that you want, you're then able to go in there and then specify exactly which set of data do you want to appear on that report. What dimensions do you want to include? What particular, metrics do you want to, seek and organize for? You can also then say what type of, visual graphics do you want to have at the top, so on and so forth. So your ability to you yourself come in here, create a report. Maybe you have an agency you're working with. You don't want to mess anything up they're doing. So you come in here and you create your own report that you get to look at, you get to reference. Or better yet, make it a collaborative effort. Work with your agency. Say, hey, I heard about custom reports. I don't know anything about them. Tell me what you're doing for me or what we can do. Some of it may be some feedback from you. Hey, can I see a report that has A, B, and C on it? And then your marketing team can go back and drive it for you. Either way, very user-friendly, allow you to go in, plug in, apply different data points that you want, create a dashboard type report or a detailed report. In addition to that, and the whole entire analytics platform is a reporting platform. They have these sections now that are really kind of called workspaces. So while yes, it's still a report, they're workspaces that allow you to kind of do more reporting, different ways to analyze and break down the data. With these different type of reports, you can query data maybe a little bit more quickly. You can go between different variations and techniques of things, sort and filter different data a little bit faster, so on and so forth. So couple different type of explore reports that are default that you get to select from. I'm not going to come over these. We will give you this slide deck webinar recording, so you'll be able to spend as much time as you want looking over the specific details. I did, however, take the time to pull apart a path exploration report. So again, if you're, a marketing nerd, you really love these reports, and you can, lose an entire day just clicking drill downs and seeing what's going on here. But with this particular path report, and what I've highlighted in yellow, you can see the clear path. They visited the home page, they went to the booking engine, they searched for a unit, selected a unit, confirmed their selection, and went all the way to the thank you page. You'll also be able to see different stems to where, hey, they went to the confirmation page, and then while 50 converted, 47 of them went back to search. So didn't find the room they were looking for. Maybe the availability wasn't right. So again, understanding the journey, the path people are taking to complete a reservation is important for you. Again, what content do you put up? What pop-ups do you have? How do you set up your booking engine to make sure there's not too much friction? All of those things go into play. And with the Explore Path Exploration reports, you can do a drill down and dive down and really just see where people go. Oh, well, if they went to my home page and then go to my rooms page, where do they go after that? Looks like some of these people might also go to the specials page. So again, truly understanding where you're at with that. Looking at this particular, path in yellow, 15% of those people who made it to the home page went into the booking engine. Of those people that went into the booking engine and completed a transaction, it was a 3.5% conversion rate. Research will tell you anywhere between 2 to 3.5 is a healthy booking engine conversion rate. So you can see in this particular path, without them doing a whole lot more else, right? Homepage, booking engine, book, very, clear understanding of what it's taking, what's happening, where the fall off is, where the drop is, and where people are going afterwards. Another report that you can do is an overlap segment report. So this is where you're basically saying, hey, go show me my direct traffic, my mobile traffic, and paid traffic, and then let's see how much they overlap. Obviously, your direct traffic and paid traffic shouldn't overlap. Those are two kind of main origin sources here, but then you can see where mobile overlaps. How many more people are going, through mobile directly to your website versus through the paid mechanism. So again, it might let you know, hey, do more paid mobile ads, spend more time on your direct channel because you're getting more there anyways. Maybe you already know you have a low ad budget, so maybe your initiative should be allocating more. If you're getting the right conversion rates, then why not get more of those people through that mechanism? So again, there's a variety of different reports that they have built in. A lot of this, as you can see on the left-hand side, drag and drop. Pick an element that they allow for you to report on, drag it to the report, and it will dynamically change that content for you. So again, go in there, have fun. You ain't gonna break it. If you don't have the mustard to do it, reach out to your marketing team and have them put something together for you, present it to you, and then you can go from there. Another section within GA4 is the advertising section. This is just a little bit more deeper insights into the paid side of your program and your efforts. This is another workspace. While there's a lot of different reports, they call these section workspaces. And again, it's just really to help you get a better understanding of that guest journey. And give you the ability to quickly check those business metrics and jump into some deeper insights. This is, again, a couple of the reports that kind of come with it and what you could do with it: advertising snapshot, the performance report, model comparison, conversion path. With these, you're able to answer, obviously, a whole bunch of different questions What roles did the referral channel play versus the search channel? How much time passed between the initial interaction, and what are the most, converting paths that people are taking? Do they go straight to the booking engine? Do they need to look at your rooms page and your specials page first? Again, that helps you understand how to order your navigation, how to present pop-ups and messaging, how to include little call to actions within the content to get them to the places that lead to a reservation being made. This is another little animated graphic of a model comparison. So this is using the attribution models, which is basically kind of, from a marketing standpoint, where do we want to give credit? In marketing, there's no one shot. You don't create a social media post and then only social media got credit for it. They likely went to the website to engage. Maybe they then got an email from you later to support whatever that engagement was. The attribution models that you select really kind of weight those different variations. How much credit do we give to the first time they clicked on the social ad and saying, hey, this transaction came from there? Or do we want to consider that they also went to the website and opened up an email? So this built-in tool just allows you to kind of see, based off of different data models and different conversion models, how would it impact your reporting? How would you be able to potentially see, that journey and how those different channels are performing? So typically speaking, the data-driven model is what's recommended. That is what is in place. However, if you're a heavy user and you have a specific business model as to why you only care about the last click, then maybe that's why you want to report. I only want to know the last thing they did before they booked. Don't care about anything else. Okay, agree upon that with your marketing team. Know that's how you're reporting on your data. And then don't complain about it down the road. Well, how come you're only giving me the last click? Well, because you asked for it. The next one here, these are the conversion paths. So this is a little bit different than what you saw on the Explore kind of conversion path. So where you get to see the pages and, homepage, booking engine page. This is looking at it from a channel perspective. How many times did it take for them to engage with the direct channel versus the organic channel? And what does that flow look like? How much weight kind of carries over? Where are they converting at? So on and so forth. So again, just arming your marketing team to be aware of what's most effective, how many engagements things may take, how to be better prepared. Going back here, this first model is showing you the database model, going back to the attribution, 11% in the early touch, mid is 13%, late is 74. Looking at a different model, attribution model, position-based, 16% early stage, 5 in the middle, and what is that, 77 in the late. So maybe to give you some context, early touch points, the first 25% of the touch point path is around that number. So this is kind of where they first start. And then there's that mid touch point, followed by that last touch point. So again, how do you want to look at your data? What matters? Do you care about the beginning or the end? Do you look for analytics to use the data to really kind of suggest this is the totality of the path that they took? Okay, all right, I shared a lot. I hope you all were able to soak it all in. Again, I'm going to share this with you in a PowerPoint, a slide deck, and a recording, so you'll be able to soak this in however much you want. You have until July 1st to get your analytics account switched over and updated. That means new scripts on your website, new scripts in your booking engine. I would honestly tell your marketing team to drop everything and do it today. If they haven't already done it, shame on them. If they're working on it, great. If you need to, pay extra for it. You don't want to lose sight on your tracking. The numbers are correct. You got 8 weeks, 3 days, 1,416 hours. And yes, I went all the way down to the seconds, give or take. So run, hurry fast. Those items in red are the pop-ups you'll see when you log into your Google Analytics account. So going back to the question earlier, how do I know? Log into your account. You'll see prompts. It'll tell you if you're set up or not. It'll tell you how much time you have. It'll give you buttons to go somewhere to get started. Again, you can't do it, work with your agency, or if you're doing it yourself, start now. Might take you time to get your hands on it. A couple other things I want to share before I go here. Data changes that you may see, so don't be alarmed. There may be lower session counts being reported. Again, go back to my new way of doing math. 3 equals 1 in Universal Analytics. 3 sessions now is 1 in Google. We're capturing everything as an event. Because Google Analytics for events are processed across a wider range of time, you may see higher session counts in your Google Analytics 4. So just be aware of that. They're looking at a bigger period of time. So you might have higher reports there. And then for you iPhone folks or those users there, again, you can see some higher data being reported as well, as you can see based off of the background apps that iOS is running. Also, when it comes to running reports, every so often there might be some reports that have a data threshold. Don't be alarmed. A lot of that has to do with privacy settings that they have on certain data they allow you to pull, and other things that are more automatically available in the reports that update timely for you. Things to do before you go. Hopefully you already know, set up your analytics, go get it going with it. Make sure revenue tracking is in place. So once you get analytics set up, the minute you see a reservation come through on your booking engine, you should hopefully see that same dollar amount on your analytics report. So work with your marketing team so they can track it down to the source. Use the built-in Google tools to go through their setup to make sure you don't lose anything behind. And then make sure you're linking all of your Google Analytic platform tools, that being Google Ad and Search Console. Export your universal data. We're recommending you go back to 2019 just so you can have enough data. Obviously, 2020, 2021, COVID years, really hard to kind of do any comparables. So go back. I'm one of those people, data Nazi. I'm grabbing 2005 and beyond. So if you're one of those people, that's me too, no shame. Go for it, more data, never gonna hurt you. Review your reports regularly, especially if you're just making that change. Keep your eye on them, make sure you're paying attention to any of those anomalies, anything that's looking odd to you. If you don't have the answer, Google it. Better yet, hire rezStream. We'd love to help you. That's what we're here for. And then again, make sure you know what is converting. Don't go into a situation where somebody's telling you you have a 10% conversion rate, but they're counting every interaction on your website as a conversion, right? That's just not what you want. It sets you up for, poor performance down the road when you work with true providers that really care about that revenue type of a conversion. Okay, wrapping up, guys. I promise I'm gonna let you go. For those of you who are new, Education Center on rezStream, education, rezStream.com/education. We've got free blogs, resource guides, webinar recordings, so on and so forth. Go there, sign up, fill things out, read the content, pick our brains, ask questions, give us more ideas on things you need us to write for. And then lastly, the offer. Thank you for hanging on so tight. Anybody who wants to tap into rezStream's marketing services, we've got a 20% off of our elite level marketing plans. We do not have a Google Analytics offer in place. While that would probably be more appealing, it is a very small potato. That should be in place. What you really should be making sure your marketing program is a variety of these tactics mixed into your overall strategy. If you want to get started with rezStream, get that free marketing analysis. You've got until the end of June to take advantage of this offer. And then lastly, any questions, by all means, shoot those over to me via sales@rezStream.com. Give us a call, schedule a demo. Again, this will be sent out to you guys, webinar recording, slide deck recap, and then again, all you rezStream loyal customers, feel free to reach out to your account managers, pick their brains, ask any questions. 5 minutes under the hour. Thank you guys for hanging on so tight. Any questions? Let me see if there's any questions. Will you send out slides? Yes. Hang tight. Our team will be on it as soon as we're done here today. I keep getting a pop-up countdown. Why is Google doing this? Because they want to make sure you're fully set up. They're going to do this all the way until the end. As soon as July 1st hits, you are no longer going to be able to capture data inside of the Universal Analytics reporting system. So if you do not have GA4 open, you're going to have a dead period where there is no tracking. So again, get that started now sooner than later. Talked about Expedia, Travelocity. Yes, they should show up in all of your reports here. And more importantly, I hope that they're using that updated GA4 within their own platforms. Does rezStream install GA4 on the booking engine page? Yes, we do that. So if you are using rezStream's booking engine and you know that you've already put the GA tracking scripts on your website, send an email to support@rezstream.com. Let them know that you need GA4 booking scripts added, and they will take care of that for you if they haven't already. Either way, send them an email, ask them if they've done it. If not, tell them to do it. That's what we're here for. How do you add it to the rezStream page? Yep, again, our support team will do that for you. Our booking engine allows for third-party custom scripts, so whether it's Google or anyone else that you work with, we have an area where we apply those scripts for you. The booking engine scripts are custom to every booking engine provider. So again, our support team just needs to take care of that for you. With a quick call to rezStream, let me know if my Google Analytics is already set up. Yes, Jamie, please send an email to our marketing team, reach out to them. They'll tell you right away. Again, if you are a marketing client, it is taken care of for you. If you are just using our software, just using our website, booking engine services, that is an area where you kind of have to take the lead and we'll support you. We can help you put it on your website. We'll definitely do it on the booking engine if it's ours. If you do not use the rezStream booking engine, again, you need to reach out to your third party. They're responsible for having the appropriate scripts in place there. How do I know if I'm compatible? Everyone's compatible for GA4. So as long as you have a website or an app, you can use GA4. It's just a matter of getting it onto your website. Again, the way that you can tell that is, number one, the GA scripts, and I wish I had a screenshot of it. Universal Analytics, if you view the source code, it's UA-number. In GA4, it's the letter G dash number. What I would say to make it easy, reach out to your marketing agency. If it's rezStream, just ping us. We'd love to share anything that we have with you and answer that question for you. Otherwise, you know, we can definitely circle back with you directly if you're still not getting what you need. Those are all the questions that I'm seeing here. So again, anything else? Nothing's off limits here. Ask me how the Nuggets are doing. Otherwise, I'm going to let you guys get out of here. Let you get back to taking care of your guests. Again, we've got that 20% off marketing offer. Get started on your analytics conversion today if you haven't already. Thank you again for your time. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.